what is up, mortals? It's Blue Geno here, and before we get into today's video, there's something I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Where we last left off, the USJ attack had occurred, and the students had been split up by the villains to draw out All Might in order to kill him. This plan managed to work at first, but due to their over-reliance on their so-called ultimate weapon Nomu and the symbiote riots, the students were able to easily beat the weaker villains, and were also saved by the stronger members of the League of Villains by All Might, who had beaten Riot by temporarily being assisted by Venom. 3 days have passed since then, and the students have returned to class after a 3-day break because of the attack. This was fortunate, however, because Midoriya actually hadn't been feeling well ever since the attack. Well, not Midoriya specifically, but rather his symbiote partner. This has been going on for the past few days, the creature's bad state causing Midoriya to constantly feel nauseous and having strange cravings for food he usually didn't eat together, like tater tots and chocolate, or deep-fried lobster and a chocolate milkshake. Right now, he was walking to class and discussing this with the symbiote. All the while, Ito was trying to get everyone to take their seats and looking stupid while doing it. Izuku said, "Okay, Venom, this is getting old. What the heck is going on with us?" Venom responded, "Hard to say. Could be one thing, could be another." Izuku being slightly agitated, "Well, what are the things you can think of?" So Venom gave his thoughts. 2 things mainly. Either I'm just having a hard time adjusting to this planet's atmosphere, I'm on the verge of spawning an offspring. The second theory seemed to surprise, gross out, and intrigue Midoriya all at the same time as he entered the class and sat down. Izuku responded, "Wait, so you can have baby symbiotes? How?" So Venom indulged. Symbiotes reproduce asexually, once every 10 years. When I bonded to you, I was around a year away from having spawn again, but something caused that to change after I bonded to All Might. Izuku continued to question. "Really? How?" Venom continued. "I'm not sure. Anyway, symbiote offspring often start off as a blank slate copy with 0 capabilities, and gains them as it either adapts or finds a host. Which is also important. Newborn symbiotes need to find a host as soon as they're spawn, or they'll die." Izuku worried by this. "And if we do spawn a new one, we have to make sure he gets a host soon," Venom replied. "Exactly." Right at that moment, Ms. Raizawa walked in. He had bandages wrapped around his face, and his arms were in 2 casts and slings. He also looked more tired than usual. Ms. Raizawa announced, "All right, everyone settle down and take a seat. Class is starting." Siyu inquired her teacher.
"Ribbit? Mr. Aizawa, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be recovering?"
Mr. Aizawa responded, "When you're a hero, you can't take holidays just because of a few injuries. Now, today we have something very important to talk about today." Everyone was tense now, because when the teacher usually said that, it usually meant that they'd be a test of some kind, which had everyone on edge. With Aizawa quelling their worries, "The UA Sports Festival is coming up." Everyone erupted in a full cheer as they heard this great news. Kirishima yelled, "All right, let's go kick some ass!" With Kaminari following up with a question, "Hold up, are you sure this is a good idea?" The students all showed the same concerns about having the sports festival, and just like in canon, Aizawa explains just why it's so important. And afterwards, everyone then goes to lunch, where Uraka explains her motivations for becoming a hero just like in canon. Hey everyone, I would like to say we got a 2nd and 3rd channel called Anime Deep Dive and Anime Theory. Anime Deep Dive is a channel based on a variety of anime lore, and Anime Theory focuses on theories from plausible to way out there. If you're interested in content like this, make sure you click the icon on the top right corner or check out the description below for a link to the channel. Now, back to the video. All Might also asked Midoriya to join him for lunch, like in canon, because he had some questions to ask the boy. Midoriya walks into the lounge with the number 1 hero and sits down nervously. Venom asked, "Why are you so nervous?" Ezekiel told him, "Nervous because I don't know if he knows about you or not." All Might interjects the conversation here. "Now, young Midoriya, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions." Izuku putting on his best poker face, yet also, as we all know, failing. Sure, All Might. About what?" Which only states, "Your quirk. You were able to temporarily pass it on to me, and it also spoke. I'd like to know why that is." Izuku was hesitant for a moment, but All Might reassured him that any secrets he had to share would be kept. Midoriya to Venom, "You okay with me telling him?" Which Venom answered, "As long as he doesn't say anything, sure." Taking a sigh, Izuku told All Might, "Okay, All Might, it's kinda like this. He then goes into everything that he's learned and knows about Venom and the symbiote so far. Everything including how they were found by the Life Foundation and how they originally came from space, even the weaknesses symbiotes apparently had. The symbiote also chiming in at certain points to either add something or make a few side remarks. But they didn't mention the possibility of them being on the verge of spawning, however, seeing as it's too sensitive a subject to mention at the moment. All Might took this rather well and then turned serious. All Might told Midoriya, "I will keep your secret, young Midoriya, but from now on, promise me that you and young Venom will be careful. Understand?" Young Midoriya added on, "Yes, sir!" Right at that moment, All Might had to suddenly revert to his true form, which shocked Midoriya and intrigues Venom. The symbiote saying that would explain why he felt so weak when he had latched onto him previously during the USJ attack. The hero then explains to the two about his injuries, the battle he had fought over 5 years ago, and how Venom's regeneration actually helped him recover a great deal. All but one of these three things caught Izuku completely off guard. Izuku and Venom then leave after All Might tells them to please keep what he told them a secret, which the two agree to do out of respect for their mentor's wishes. The day goes on just like in canon, with Class 1C and B, and so does the 2-week time skip. But unbeknownst to Izuku and Venom, some lingering effects of All Might's power was affecting both Venom and the spawning of the unknown symbiote inside it. Skip ahead to Sports Festival and everyone's getting ready to start. Then Todoroki approaches Midoriya just like in canon. Shoto announces to Midoriya, "I'll be the one looking forward to beating you, Midoriya." With that, Izuku challenges back. "We'll see about that, Todoroki." The first event's results become the same as in canon, with Izuku and Venom using their bulkier form to demolish their way through the robots by using the extra strength enhancement Venom somehow got from All Might during the USJ for the first time, demolishing 2 Zero robots in the process and use their more agile modes to get through the minefields. In the cavalry battle also goes similar as in canon, with Izuku being on the team with Uraraka and Hatsumi. But thanks to Venom being able to permanently copy Hatsumi's build, so even after one is broken by Mandela's balls, Izuku isn't able to make a placebo copy to replace it. Uraraka also gets a bit of a quirk boost, as Izuku has Venom latch onto her temporarily. Using this to their advantage, they are able to avoid Todoroki's attacks to try and immobilize them, which then allows them to end the match with their 10 million points still intact. After this defeat, Todoroki then pulls Izuku to the side, and unlike in canon, instead asks Midoriya about his suspicion that his quirk seems like it's very odd, and it seems very different than any transformation type quirk he's seen, especially since it's able to be temporarily transferred to All Might, like in the USJ. This leaves Izuku to give him a sort of rundown about how Venom works to try and throw him off the scent. Though, unlike in canon, it's unclear if Todoroki is convinced. After this, Izuku feels rather sick to the stomach. Izuku asks Venom, "What's going on?" Venom responds, "The other symbiote is almost ready to spawn." Izuku realizes their predicament. Oh jeez, this isn't good. The tournament matches were up next, and Izuku's match against Shinzo goes very differently than what it was in canon. For example, instead of Izuku activating One for All like in canon to break his fingers, Venom instead takes temporary control of his body, so he doesn't go out of bounds and forcefully breaks his fingers and snap out of Shinzo's control. He then beats Shinzo by healing his fingers and whipping him back to the edge of the arena with a set of black tendrils, and then shoulder bashing him out of bounds and into the adjacent wall, causing a crater in the process. The rest of the matches go on about the same as in canon, except for Uraraka vs Bakugo. In this match, Uraraka is still feeling the effects of Venom's strength boost, and actually does get to see her plan to make Bakugo float work. But due to the blonde's experience with fighting in mid-air, this tactic did more harm than good, and Bakugo is able to deliver a decisive blow to Uraraka that knocks her unconscious instantly. Another difference would be Todoroki's fight against Zero, because instead of being seething with anger towards his dad after their talk, he would be too preoccupied with what Izuku had told him about his powers, and just ignore his dad instead, making him a bit more level-headed, but also very distracted. So much so that Zero's tape attack would actually almost succeed, but Todoroki's reaction time would still be enough to just barely avoid being set out of bounds, and send an ice blast big enough to make Zero want to jump back and accidentally fall out of bounds, which would make Todoroki claim victory, albeit with a brief moment of trouble. This would have caused Todoroki to decide to put his curiosity towards Izuku on the back burner, at least for the time being. The next few matches were the quarterfinals, and during the first match, aka Shoto and Izuku's match, though, Izuku suddenly feels the need to throw up, and suddenly upchucks all over the stadium, white and black sludge pouring from his mouth as it's gathering into a puddle and rises. Izuku stumbles, and falls as the fluid raises up, and looks at Shoto. Venom proclaims to Izuku, "It's the newborn symbiote." Izuku seeing this shouts to Todoroki, "Oh no! Todoroki, look out!" It's too late though. The new symbiote has already lunged at Todoroki and started to bond with him, turning him into a creature with the same build and height as All Might, with white skin, with a black face, and patterns, bokeh-clawed arms, and an orange mouth, and orange eyes. An icy mist flowed from his mouth as it breathed, and crystal gathered on its left side as the ground turned to frost under its feet, and it just standing there cracked the concrete as if it were cheap glass, with the mixed voices of Shoto and the newborn symbiote. We are anti-Venom, Izuku asks his partner. Venom? Venom responds, yes. Izuku panically tells him, mask! Venom agrees with his partner. Copy. Venom then coated Izuku as it became their bulky form and hissed at the new pair of human and symbiote, who in turn hissed at the other two before they lunged at each other with the intention to tear them apart. The former two stood ready. It was a battle of the symbiotes now, and neither Izuku or Venom knew who would be coming out on top. Thank you for watching the video to the end. Now, there are a few more things I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, I'd like to thank our $5 Patreon supporters for helping us fund these videos. Lastly, on behalf of VexolVilex, I'd like to thank the writer for this video as well as the editor for this video. Their details will be in the description. If you are a voice actor, editor, or writer, or interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and head up the head of one of those areas. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're interested and hit that like button if you like this video. Until next time, peace out mortals, and have an amazing day.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand.